Virtus Pro's turn to ban. Complexity's turn.
And we're back. Game number 3 here, ready for you. The draft has begun. Complexity lost out in game number 2. A bit of a cheesy draft they tried to pull off against VP, but Virtus Pro with Kezu as their off-lane carry player on that Void, absolutely decimating Complexity and turning it back on its head. So now we're one apiece into game 3 of the Frankfurt 2016 ESL 1 group stages. I'm Gareth, joining me is Moppax. We're both idiots, but at least we're nice people in our hearts. We don't know about aura debuffs, we don't know about people dropping items, but Moppax, you do know about Complexity, and do you think they're scared of Kezu's Void now, seeing as they've banned it out in the first phase?
Yeah, I think it's just a kind of a monster on every single game. Like, he just gets it first banned when he's on No Diggity. Now that he's standing for VP, I don't see why it should be any different. Just, I hear that they work a lot with for YouTube, and the thing is how he's not actually the one who's missing. They're still pretty, you know, aware of how that stuff's going down. Here, it's fine. Darkseer and Void removed, they pretty much have to pick. Like, what else is Kezu gonna play?
What is he going to play? Nyx Assassin off lane or something? I don't know. We'll find out for the first time today, on this stream anyway. Well, Lifestealer gets through the pool and into the hands of Complexity. Seen a lot of play recently with an amazing win rate over at Manila as well. It's definitely shown that he is the mid-game carry that this game has needed for quite some time, you know, back in the old days. Lifestealer was such a potent pick, and then people started going Razor and Lone Druid and kind of kiting him and slowing him down, but we've not seen that kind of emphasis drafted against the Lifestealer in quite some time.
Yeah, now Virtus Pro, I'm sure, are just thinking, shit, take Ricky. We don't have the Darkseer to work with it. They already have the Faceless Blade, or rather, they already have the Lifestealers. It's a little bit more difficult. They're going to go with the pairing hero of the Earth Spirit to try and limit some of that aggression. We know Complexity love their Ricky. See if they want to take it up now, if they just want to leave it as an offbeat band out. Maybe a little bit more standard. You start to think about the other thing that pairs up. Yep, the Disruptor. Fantastic against as well as the Earth Spirit, so
5 seconds remaining.
I think that could be what Swindles is pondering right now. Disruptor or Ricky, because either one is going to get banned in the second phase more likely than not here by Virtus Pro. Taking a while to think about it as well. The VP, of course, they could think about the G Tinker, the G Drow range, or the like Yoku Drow range, and the G like TA or something along those lines, or the Puck even. Options are pretty open. Like, this is a great opening to the draft from VP. They don't get the Phoenix Void combo, but a Slardar Complexity. Off-lane for Swindles, it looks like there for him, leaving both Ricky and Disruptor in the pool to get banned out if Virtus Pro feel that it's necessary.
yeah, that does mean like, that's a pretty solid person to be carrying that Lifestealer, right? The Air Bomb drops in, has that Blink Dagger anyway, so Swindle have some trouble, right? You have to get up into those Tranquil Boots, the Blink Dagger, not the best Iron Talent hero. Saw a little bit of struggle earlier today.
VP, what are you going to do with this one? Complexity, they've taken up 2 cores, 2 supports for VP. Things are kind of on their heads. Support heroes like Witch Doctor, yeah. Disruptor, yeah, Ricky. Even Bounty Hunter might be heroes you look towards banning out here. The Leicester and Slardar out there. You do want a little more kind of saving potential, because Leicester and Slardar are heroes like to go in deep and find these cheeky little pickoffs on the back end. Having someone like a Dazzle even to buff up the armor and save people out of sticky situations could be good for coL. Dazzle Disruptor might be the bans here, and you leave Ricky in.
It's tough, right? I mean, if they do remove Bounty and the Ricky though, like Phoenix are both gone, and those are the 2 other supports in like that 4 and 5 role that you earlier on, like before the Blink Dagger actually comes up with the Slardar, because chances are you're gonna design it before they're done on the Slardar.
This draft is much more calculated, much slower paced than the ones we've seen previously with the Terrorblade taken out by coL. Expecting a little bit of a resurgence of that TV to come back in there for the safe lane of VP. Of course, we've seen Alliance do it today. We've seen a lot of it from, you know, Fnatic and a couple of the Chinese teams over Manila in the past couple of weeks. He's definitely become a hero as opposed to not being a hero at all. No, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, Terrorblade didn't really exist in the eyes of the competitive scene, but all of a sudden, bursts out there with his 10 armor and 500 HP at level 1 and starts crushing people to bits. It will not be a secondary support hero banned out, it's the Invoker in fact. VP, again, leaving a lot of these options out in the pool for complexity, but the thing is, if you ban one hero, there's always going to be like 2 or 3 that can take its place. It's like min-maxing, you know, in your draft. Like, what hero could do the most damage to us and the most damage to what we want to accomplish?
Yeah, and I think that's kind of why they're not even like about banning out more offlane heroes. I think they're just under the assumption that it is going to be the Tide Hunter for KheZu. Like, the only other thing would be Stalker or something role. Followed aggression here, but you have a lifesteal that's already going to do very well. The Witch Doctor still open to you if you get really concerned. Want to like hide it a little more. Tankiness of the Dragonite will be allowed through here.
Tide Hunter, you say? VP, will you pick it up? You snap it up right away.
Oh, there's still people.
10 seconds remaining.
Oh, so there is.
And the other thing is, with I was thinking about this when this whole thing started. What if they just gave that lone so loved by KheZu, like massive ban him? There's no reason why he couldn't also run that in a same.
And then you give Yoku Beastmaster off lane.
Right, yeah, you can just run him
against...
one of his more well-known off.
Very good against Lifestealer and Slardar with the boars. The slows are good. Pierce Magic Community with that roar. It's a good hero all around here, and VP could definitely that one up. FMG thinking about it.
The only concern when it comes to, although it's one of KheZu's best heroes, it's the best heroes. Slow Druid, right? Beast and the minus armor onto that bear, helping anybody chunk them down. So.
Then you got the Sunray back onto it though, so it's like a flip of the coin. Axe versus Crow.
This is one they've done before, where they went Clark. Ran it with the same heroes.
Not a Yoku Axe then? KheZu, Iron Talon Jungle Axe?
I would guess so, yeah.
Semi-offlane Axe?
Yeah. Go back towards some sort of position 1, and then your mid laner, just pretty standard stuff. No Winter Wyvern axes or anything like that.
coL.
So you can start to like picture how this is gonna go though, right? Egg, the axe place on top of that, or in tandem to find some good area where either you get insane Berserker coL or you get an insane or work to there with that big overlapping damage from insane.
And then you bait people into the egg with Earth Spirit, you get the big magnetize, and yeah, there's combos there.
So how do you stop that when it comes to your supports? Like, can you go for something like the Lion, who can try and pick this off first, like before that all happens? I ran a lot. Enchantress, definitely a play here for Z. Wander on in there and handle that axe a little bit earlier, or he can get in some trouble, and maybe also showing that they want to go to offlane. Enchantress is something that's fantastic in China. You have 6.5 and 6.6, as well as 6.87. I think it's for all three. Something that's been lingering back and forth. They're on the rating side, it seems, but Dyer's certainly fine. That camp to work with, and both the one on their own side of the river, but the one that when you first come on down in, unless they're going to block out both on V.
5 seconds remaining.
I think just bring a Satyr down or a nice little Dark Troll. You stun people up and allow Slardar to get the crushes and hits in there. VP back with the Wraith King though. Against the Lifestealer and Slardar, this guy, you know, he can stand his ground and fight with the 2 lives he's got. He's pretty good at that. Reinitiating back in with the Reincarnation and allowing Axe and Earth Spirit maybe to reposition and find those counter initiations that VP will require against this coL lineup. Again, we're looking at complexity with some very early burst damage, and now they're going to really taper out this game a little bit more with Alchemist. But it's often kind of misconstrued. You know, people think, oh, Alchemist, he can farm really fast. He hits that peak at like 35 minutes, but if you've got these Ags upgrade heroes like Enchantress, even Lifestealers being able to gobble someone up and drag them around the map a little bit, this Alch could cause an awful lot of issues here for them. And he's also another great hero just getting up in the face and tanking up all the damage that VP throw, because No, Wraith King is multi-cycle, right? He throws a stun, he dies, reincarnates, throws another stun, and he does physical damage. Axe is very much like jump in, call, slam someone. If you get that Culling Blade kill, then you continue on fighting. If you don't, you want to try and retreat, reposition, jump back in. Earth Spirit and Phoenix are the same kind of thing, you know? You go in hard, and then you try and pull back, and you go in a little bit less hard. You don't have your ultimate anymore, you've got a few little spells to throw. Alchemist, Slardar, and Lifestealer, they can all itemize and tank through these little skirmish damages.
And I actually just banned the Viper too because knowing that I think Slardar and Chance because they wanted the mid thing, right? Not have to worry about it, throw out the acid spray, so Viper to make sure that he'll have at least his time. And with the Lion banned out, you could go as the other mana drain and the Bane. Not something that they run all that. They've done it for Huntskin in the past, they've done it with the IO comp set up with the Bane too. But that Witch Doctor that's just really solid up against some tankier liners, 100% X will not he won't be surviving for very long.
Okay. You pick 3 strength heroes into VP and they are not afraid to go back for the Timbersaw.
No.
It's going to be for G this time for the mid lane. So Wraith King going to be for Yoku down on the safe lane. Axe going to be, like we said, semi-jungling there for Keizu. I've got to say, VP's lineup, it's scary. But one issue they have is like applying pressure early on. They need Blink on Axe, they need Timbersaw to get into, you know, like his Arcanes and Soul Ring at the very least. Yoku needs Armlet Blink, potentially. While the Phoenix and Earth Spirit can kind of operate on the levels alone. Complexity, it doesn't feel that way. It feels like their laning stage is going to be a little bit quieter unless VP, you know, throw a wrench in the works.
It does start to seem to look that way. I'll be interested to see how much Z can get done here. Just like, there is definitely a balance, right? You want your Earth Spirit head mid and provide enough of this pressure onto the Alchemist to slow him down to a degree that you're going to be happy with for V, or how much does he have to bottom with Slardar? That's where Z-Freak ends up spending the majority of his time. And then there's also that same balance comes up from you're going to be going for that like battle hunger stacking axe thing that we've seen just get up to. Judging by all the wards here on Z-Freak, I think he's go down bot. Oh, actually, he only has 2.
He needs to deward this camp, though, if he plans on that, because the no-fear movement was very snappy. TP's out, wards twice, gets back to the rest of his team as well. They've got vision and they've blocked up this camp. Swindles thinks he's, you know, sitting pretty up on top of this ramp, you know. I'm guarding this camp. No one can touch it. No one's going to ward it, but it's already been warded for them.
It's that smoke play. Like, it just gives you so much speed as support
and the roll.
Earth Spirit.
Smoke and roll from Earth Spirit is just unstoppable. The mobility is insane. So let's have a look at starting items. Limp with Quelling Blade and Shield with a couple of cool tangos and a salve. I wonder if he goes into the Soul Ring build or if he wants that bottle up and running while Hansken and Chessie block out G, and the roll in is going to catch the Witch Doctor, and with that Sunray out, the damage flowing through is enough to give Earth Spirit the Bounty Rune pick up and deny it away from the Alchemist, who has a long walk back to lane, and he went Greevil's Greed level 1, of course, to try and pick up that rune. Well, bottom lane, what happened down there? Yoku finds the bounty himself. He threw out a Wraithfire Blast, so the stun secured it for him.
Well, that'll be one less to worry about in lane, I suppose, but Z-Freak is about to come to a very realization here. Not spawn.
He finds the ward.
That is so unlikely that it's going to go back to. Very rarely done here. That's fine, you find out the 30 seconds is when perhaps going down. That's an early TP.
He has a crush here as well. He held onto it for a long time there. Honestly, well played by Swindles. Keeping hold of that mana, didn't need to crush, just salve himself back up to a safe amount of HP anyway. But you're right, it's an early TP from Hansken actually coming down here to bolster this lane a little more, and this does open things up. Of course, Lifestealer is in a 1v0 lane, Chessie is PvE as Axe goes back into the jungle, so this is enabled complexity to move this Witch Doctor out of lane already, while Limp is in this 1v1 against G, and it will be a struggle. Whirling Death does a hell of a lot of damage back to this strength hero of Alchemist. And in fact, he's popped his salve and He's got nowhere to go. He's going to bring himself another salve. Can't afford a bottle. Can't afford anything here for Limp. It's tragic days already as G starts bullying this lane.
Yeah, and that's a lot of pressure on Complexity to try and get something done on bottom. Troll comes in, grab the Wildring Ripper. At the very least, they just want to apply enough pressure that they're not feeling comfortable. That lane ward, pretty huge for them. Just going to be fully aware as to keZu makes a rotation back up top. Bought up a bit more regen in the TP. Gotta imagine he won't.
Does VP want to roll in on the Enchantress? They do indeed. Hanskin has a DD rune and Cask to throw back. It bounces onto FNG at the top as well, and looks like Z-Freak is okay to heal himself up while
that DD rune.
Oh, the DD rune with the Maledict on him ticks him over, and FNG's dropping low as well. Two heroes go the way of Complexity. Virtus Pro, they thought they had that kill on the Enchantress, but a little bit too weaselly.
Oh, top lane. Though it is going well for them there. The mid top still rather difficult right now. Complexity. And so they'll just bring back up. keZu here. Up his shenanigans. And can't tell if he was inside when that happened, but they shouted down bottom. I would assume he's here. See how lucky keZu, or rather unlucky I suppose, he gets here.
Looks like keZu is not going to be lucky at all. Spin one, spin twice, and Chessie stays alive. An axe will drop, but mid lane, they're looking to wrap in onto No Fear. The go was attempted onto Limp, but his bottle has arrived and he's got that regen back up. Now with a soul ring, with the acid spray even. I'm just like automatic in my head, it's like Alchemist equals soul ring. I see it so often nowadays that a little bit unusual. I guess Dire Side, soul ring not as amazing as over on the Radiant when you've got, you know, all these camps to stack up for yourself and getting the free acid spray out, but Limp not going to get hit by that roll. Well, G does pick over a little bit to this acid spray being pumped onto him, but with reactive armor. Now armor goes up, HP goes up, happy as Larry, Timber Saw, perfectly fine there.
Yeah, all comes down to that management for the team here, right? Not exactly a lane that get a little bit annoying, because the Alchemist isn't active armor, there's no supports here, but the fact that it down your own wave means you can get the enemy force at least to make sure you can like, fully sustain while tanking time. You can't just like tank when you want.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Complexity. They are this lineup that's giving a lot of room to swindles down the bottom lane. How we're looking level-wise for these guys. Level 4 on a Slaughter, 5 on Alchemist and Lifestealer. It's the Axes actually. It's farming decently over in the jungle, but he does need to keep these items actually pumping in as G. Spotted by Hanskin, but equally. The Timber Saw realizes that something's not quite right over in his lane. Well, keZu will battle hunger up some creeps and try and pull them off as quickly as he can. Tranquil Boots now, of course, are readily available for him. And is level 6.
Swindles though, I mean, level 5? Fairly well, like, it's so risky with a slider. Okay, man, sorry Swindles, shouldn't have said anything.
You can still crush and try and stick and sprint. He's getting far enough away, but there's the Mango, pops out by the Wraith King, stuns him up again. Swindle's still alive, a couple more hits is all it takes. The crush comes through and Swindles is still alive. keZu under this tower, taking the brunt of the damage. There's no cask. There's no cask and no maledict. keZu will just get a few right clicks, a few punches from Hanskin, calls himself up for the armor. Looks like he might drop here. The final projectile thrown, and Yoku, well, he could have gone for the stun to Hanskin, but it's not worth it when Swindles is here to the side with a crush as well. And in the meantime, what the hell is happening mid-Moppax? Earthspirit died and TP'd mid. Phoenix is killed by a neutral creep. Where did Phoenix die? Back over here. There's people dying left, right, and center.
Swindles was fine. I didn't curse him. That was close though. Almost going down. We really can't afford that with the slider, but instead to get turned around there, and now he's picked up the Trackles on it, but with 800 gold already, I think that he's just Blink Dagger. Just so crucial in their draft. They have no one else to help with the slider besides him.
Level 4, but with no stun for Limp. And no slow for Z-Freak. They don't find the kill on the Wraith King. That could have been a juicy one though for them. And Yoku did try and get back into the jungle to seek some farm he's missing from the lane. Top lane, FNG. He's got the dive here, and he can actually escape himself out. Baiting Jesse a little bit further in as the TP from keZu. The coL will not be in range. And Jesse looks like he's okay for now, but keZu is not giving up on this. He knows he wants this coL in the creep wave, and Jesse just Duke and drive himself a little bit further back.
Yeah, meanwhile, the mid, that rune on the limp. Lane into G. Yoku actually back mid. I mean, I know his tower's under pressure, so I guess he has nowhere to go. It'll be farming here and maybe hoping someone will dive and he could capitalize on something with a stun, but this is really the power of the Slide Iron Enchantress. Once a couple points get up, you put creeps down, and you basically just negate all the problems Slide Iron has. Like, he sprints in, he crushes, and the crush only lasts so long, so you can turn on him because he is weaker, but when you can stack it up with all these creeps, you can also add in the healing from a potent duo. Accelerating him into that dagger a little bit earlier on, allowing him to even grab up his heads and still have 700 gold. I mean, he basically just got 1,000 gold out of it.
Now, mod packs. I have a
Gareth.
question for you.
Okay, a question.
And this is probably going to be Armlet on Limp, but he got Gloves of Haste first, and it worries me sometimes when alchemists do this. Because in my pubs, I've seen alchemists go Gloves of Haste first, and they buy a Midas.
I'm gonna assume close to death.
Yeah,
and he pressed B.
Yeah, and he quick bought.
I'm good. I hope.
And Helm of the Dominator wasn't the item he picked up. I assume the same also.
You're right, yeah, it is much more commonly the Helm of the Iron Will first. All that value.
You should be going for the armor anyway. For Limp, such a good value item across this alchemist. His bottom lane swindles. He's being eyed up here by Yoku and FNG. Very far forward without any real help, and Earth Spirit can aim to roll in. And he'll start things off with that stun into dive. The roll will not land. Neither will the kick from No Fear. Mischaracteristic. Not landing his stuns as the Enchantress wraps in from behind, looking for some way to slow down his aggression, but G won't land the Chakram. And Z-Freak, the little Bambi, is quick on her feet, dancing and squirting away. Chakram second time, this will land. And maybe Z-Freak will finally get brought down here, but drawing 3 or 4 heroes from VP along for the ride at the same time.
Just, baiting them in deeper, right? That's all he's up to. It's fine. Nice little chase down there. Again, everything I can get earlier on in the game, it's just so important. Not only because it's G, and we've gone on and on about how much he pays for VP in all their games. In fact, that early blood. Gotta get into the game somehow. He's got his arcane boots, he's got a soul ring, so he's certainly well on the way. But he's a little behind our alchemist and our lifesteal. Top net at worth chart.
Well, Limp has got some catching up to do for sure, but he's got his armlet now, and that farming should ramp up pretty rapidly. Well, just look at this, the lines are drawn. FNG is like, guys, Alchemist is farming, we have to do something about this. But going back to the draft and how we were saying, applying pressure here for VP, it's not that easy. They need items. Like, Timbersaw is now hitting one of his minor peaks. He's got Soul Ring Arcanes, he's level 8, he can start dishing out the damage. But without Blink on your axe, you don't have that raw form of initiation outside of an Earth Spirit roll, which is kind of finicky, especially when you look at the Earth Spirit not having brown boots. Windlace, Orb of Venom, Smoke, and TP. That's what your Earth Spirit is carrying.
Yeah, it really is the battle of the Blinks right now. It does come down to who's going to get it first. Swindle, keZu, and that first real better with the smoke. In fact, they're actually just going to use one of those smokes right now inside of VP, but like, they want to blink coL into Timbersaw, get him some farm, and then on the side of Complexity, they obviously want the blink Vest Bomb here, so still only level 5 on FNG. Extremely important to note, especially at 10 minutes, and that tome could be flying out to them. Instead, they're going for a play without the egg.
I mean, it's a level 3 and a bit on the Earth Spirit as well, close to level 4, but they are so drastically underleveled on this Radiant team. And Enchantress is still level 5, but she's got an Ogre Club, dude. She's getting closer to that Dragonlance, and she will start scaling, whereas Earth Spirit and Phoenix, the same can't really be said about them. But the first Blink Dagger looks like it will be picked up here by the Axe. He's 50 gold short of it. With a little stack, you'll secure that and a bit more, while Swindles. While saying that, this creep wave, is that going to secure him Blink money? It's very close to it. Very close to it. 60 gold shy.
Well, top lane, Chessie actually runs into Yoku, but Yoku throws a 3 Fire Blast, and I think Chessie got worried there might have been a smoke gang coming for him. Still not quite sure where that axe is. They probably his blink is up. They will be correct. It's not quite on top of the hero yet. It's very scary. I'm surprised SVP even went for that first smoke, honestly. But look at the levels on the Witch Doctor and the Enchantress. A very scary couple of supports to run on.
I just keep
Wow.
looking back. Swindles, Kezu. Offlaner, Slardar, Axe. One of them smoked up. The other one is also smoked up. It's smoke into blink action, but the jump is going to come from Kezu first. Onto Hanskin. The Witch Doctor caught and dunked into the ground, but equally, Phoenix is taken out in the back end as well by Swindles and Zefric. The roll away. Again, no fear. Good way to TP. Kezu. Oh, Jesus, look at that. Limp and Chessie just right
They got
down.
the blink.
They have got the damage, and now G might be in a spot bother as well. Hastes himself up for the Timber Chain, back shack him through as well, but he's stunned up. The concoction is available. They don't have any follow through, blink and stun. At least Swindles was holding on to it. G will escape for now. And Complexity. That's a good fight for them. A couple of good kills. Blink Dagger definitely worked out better for the Slardar. And they're buying more time for Limp to get into his Radiance as well.
I look at this lifesteal and I started thinking towards using every single one of your chronos in a lot of ways. I wouldn't mind seeing them that, right? Where Chessie just this lane, hop out of the starter, and get an Enchantress, try and make use of that Dragonlance up on the Z-Freak, allow him to start building into his treads next. And just look to get active. Use your 4 heroes to create that space for a Limp. He's doing his thing, he's got the Ancients, his job's getting done. Lane Hanskin's still smoked up here.
Yoku is still trying to buy.
Farming.
Yeah, he's still short of the armlet though. You know, it's 30
top.
minutes in, your safe lane carry is lagging behind in farm. Chessie.
He knows. The game sense is out.
His spidey sense is tingling, he knows that something's up. There's no one showing mid.
It's
No
Yoku
one-
coming under that. Oh, actually, that's a. I think he passed by this ward. I'll assume that's what it was, like way down by the Ancients.
I mean, you know that something's happening. Either they're smoking Ancients, they're smoking Roshan, or they're smoking top lane for the tier 1. Because you don't really smoke for the off lane tower. So they're going to like check Ancients, check Roshan. Yeah, Complexity realize, okay, we've checked the 2 main points that could have gone. They must be all top.
Can't they just Roshan? Like,
Yeah, exactly. This opens Roshan perfectly for Complexity.
I mean, amplified damage, acid spray. That's just cake.
And it's a tier 1 trade-off, but Virtus Pro, they are incredibly slow at taking down these towers. You know, Timbersaw does a lot of damage to heroes. The Wraith Team does a lot of damage to heroes and can tank through a lot, but they don't have a tower pusher. At all.
Oh, well, they handle on over. So, this made it a lot easier to make these best bombs too, right? Nearly as scary as a prospect. Swindle's looking to dive deep. There are going to be a lot of heroes here. Nearby got his armlet. The why did he even just get?
Do they have vision though? They don't see anything. Neither team knows what's going on or what's around the corner until there we go.
Yes.
FNG actually walks into the nose of Swindles. Bump heads. The Z-Freak is right click down, nearly killed off the Earth Smash. Boulder Smash, not going to hit onto the Enchantress, sprunking away, but Chessie turns to fight against Yoku. This armlet and Reincarnation are both up, of course, for the lifesteal, for the Wraith King, as the egg is dropped on the high ground and Complexity can't focus it down. Chessie, oh, here comes the silence, here comes the combo with the nice little stun as well. The Death Ward will drop it, but Age is gone. The 3-man stun back onto the VP, and FNG is taken out. Complexity get
They need more of
themselves
this though. Can't
back
just be a Phoenix.
in. They've got to Blink Crush. They've got to go with Swindles, but he's not committing for it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Just a little bit too fearful. An objective could be enough, but he needs to be right back and back in this fight.
G, he's put himself in a sticky situation with the Maledict and the Concoction. He's dead before he can get anything off. Enchantress will finally get chomped down, but Complexity still have their 4 more important heroes alive. Now they'll look back to the tier 1, they'll take this one, and I think they'll call it a day at the mid lane, or with the TB coming through on Phoenix, they'll call it a day early. They don't want to get too deep into that mess.
Alright, well I suppose you'll take it there. Head back towards their ancient stacks and see if one will actually get off. A group of friends for Limp to take care of. So that'll put him right to the relic.
The big thing is, though, Timbersaw with his fresh bloodstone goes straight down to 8 charges. G.
Oh no.
Wait.
Oh no.
Hello?
That's not the play.
I mean, Oh dear.
Probably one of those flying aerial particles from a fire hide, I'd reckon. Getting you during the toggle.
Hey, it didn't happen. Hey, it just didn't happen.
No.
And Light of Heaven is saying, yeah, Light of Heaven's like, yep, that didn't happen. He's opening up the old scoreboard, hitting enter to see what happened in the left log. Yeah, we'll see that Limp died to a neutral over to the side. Unfortunate for him, he was so close to his relic as well, and I think he's picking out his teammate like, dude.
Is Z-Freak dead?
Where is Z-Freak? Up the top. And he turns to fight, actually.
Invis
He's
G.
not dead. He's trying to get a kill, and Swindles will help him get it as well. Z-Freak is not dead. That's a hand of Midas for Swindle Slardar as well, on top of his blink 17 minutes in. And it's looking pretty good here for Complexity. In terms of items and progression, it's just the Alchemist that still has catching up to do.
To put that gank into perspective, that was Z-Freak under the tower, basically. He was just outside the range with an Invis Timsaw directly on underneath him, starting his combo. Unable to bring him down, just with level 2 Nature's attendance between him and the Phoenix.
Must have been tight. Must have been super tight. Out finally gets himself the relic and very close to Radiance on top of it now. He's farmed himself through there while G top lane, but the scan. TP's out just in time. Great realization of who and what is coming around the corner for him. It's the nasty fishy Slardar with a life stealer in his belly. The sprint available in 3 seconds again. And they can't go for the Wraith King. He's not really the easiest target. It's Phoenix, it's Timbersaw. It's really anyone else they can catch onto.
Ponskin's playing a bit differently this game. He has been doing a lot of solo split pushing, whereas he's traditionally one of these guys that's usually grab Kezu with the Infest Bomb, but he's usually much more of that like position 6 kind of a guy, more so than that 5 or even a little bit. I think it's a very positive change.
What about the change to Yoku? Now he's got the Blink Dagger. Can VP start playing aggressively? Is that what they needed? The double jump with Axe and Wraith King going into these fights?
It's a step up, right? I mean, he doesn't have a Radiance of his own. Popped up here. So, Yoku... I don't know. How do you bring down this Alchemist? I mean, you gotta focus the egg and the all on him for Limp, right? But even after that...
It's Timber. Like, Timber has to nuke down the Alchemist, then he's got to get the Lifestealer once Rage is gone. And in the meantime, you're dealing with, you know, pure damage from Enchantress, you're dealing with the stuns coming out of Swindles, and looking at Swindles right now, he is en route to try and battle up against someone. His top lane Z-Freak caught, but the TP came in from Swindles. They've killed off Phoenix already, and in the meantime, Z-Freak has barely died. G with Yoku trying to retreat out of this one to Swindles. Oh, the crush is up in a second, and they've got the stun back on the G as well. The cast bouncing between them. Crush, no, doesn't land. Swindles barely misses out on it while G tries to turn it back into the space with a smash through onto the Slardar. The stunt as well, perfectly placed from No Fear, allows G to get himself a bit further away from this dangerous situation, but a great jump in. Swindles captures No Fear now with the Death Ward and open wounds. Chessie has moved very far forward into the battle. Kizu, this axe, Blade Mail not ready just yet, but he's able to withstand the pressure the Complexity put forward on him.
Jeez, that fight dragged on forever. I wasn't even sure about to head right back on in. Is G another Invis Rune? This guy is just manufacturing the things. He's back up to the 9 charges, so he's on his way to Swindles.
Oh dear.
That's so costly.
Is this G losing his life though? He's got another Timber Chain, gets himself further away. Chessie.
Oh, they need
wounds
this
in
pick.
5 seconds time. The big blink pull though. Here's through with the Blade Mail as well. They jump back in. They've killed off one. They're looking for 2, but the dunk doesn't work. Limp armor toggles back on, and the ultimate's healing him up as well. As he turns to
not
No
me,
Fear. Oh, Earth Spirit, you have baited Limp into his own death with a Sun Ray down. They heal up through it all. Virtus Pro with that one fell swoop from G on that Timbersaw. Clear through the 3 big cores of Complexity.
That was some really solid playmaking by a VP. Just non-stop bait and switches over and over. First it's the low Timbersaw, then he comes back in with the Invis Rune. The low Timbersaw once more. Axe to save the day, the low Earth Spirit. I mean, there was even back during the river that was pretty much 2 full minutes of Benny Hill music forced upon Complexity. He's not ready to slow down. Has not gone into the Force Staff. It is the Blade Mail. Got a little bit. That is the custom icon there for you. Wow. Exciting
Wow.
stuff.
I mean, that's been around for a while. It's like a DAC item, isn't it? Mop packs, come on.
And I just never... Alright, no fear, classic.
And that's it, right? It's game over, right?
Yeah, that's it. No, admin's rules.
That counts, that counts. It's all over now. VP tap out. No, it's misclick. We had Matuma Man do that the other day as well. Not the best thing, but sometimes shit happens. Blade mail on your Wraith King as well. So it looks like Virtus Pro, their plan to do damage to Complexity is to return the damage Complexity are doing to them. Double blade mail strats. And now you've got 12 Bloodstone charges back up on G. Plate mail is there and Swindle. Can you blink crushes no one? FNG hit the dive away. Swindles with a lifestealer in him, still chasing this one down. It's a kill on a Phoenix if you're committing to this and you have no idea who's behind him. But with a 1-2 punch, Complexity will secure it. In the meantime though, G is hasted. And with this roll forward, No Fear misses out on the boulder smash. No, he's not going to clip onto Limp, but the silence is there and you're going to self-stun up all the Alchemist. Here comes G, the damage output is good as well. Hanskin, you need this to be perfect, but it's not going to be. You really couldn't do anything there. Asking too much of Hanskin's Witch Doctor as the Boulder Smash misses again, but G has this long-range initiation. Again diving forward with the lens, burning through Hanskin. The Witch Doctor called up in the middle of a creep wave with the blade mail down. Hanskin's gone. Yoku not done just yet though. As Lifestealer, Chessie on the front line is trying to bait out a stun here, but rages himself back. Virtus Pro look hot in this game though, Moppax.
Yeah, these blade mails are just so solid too, because you think about what are they worried about if they dive towers? It would be in the situation that's needed from Chessie and him just starting to go to work on you, but when you actually get there, you need to your blade mail back off cooldown. 18 seconds, but long chase. Yoku still had his ready and primed to go, and there's nothing Chessie can do. That's a fairly long time, 4.5 seconds. Take a look at the rage over here. It's only gonna last 6, so when he wants to really hop on you with that bonus attack speed, of course now that he's gonna be taking all that damage coming in from that blade, it's brutal. Not really building into the armor items later parts of this game.
VP with this sudden swelling of aggression might even look towards the next Roshan as being theirs. Kezu chasing Limp down, he's got the Force Staff as well as the call back into the creeps, and with G turning up to the fight, the Chakram misses, but Kezu has the blade mail up. In for the shots from D-Freak. They're trying to chip away at the little lad, but Chessie's arrived as well. This is Complexity turning up, trickling in one by one. While VP are trying to answer this with a 1-by-1 of their own, because Yoku, he has arrived. The Blink Crush from Swindle catches the 2 of them, while Limp, the call onto Chessie. Actually, Burnett is catching like a fair amount. Yoku, there's the Death Lord drop for the blade mail, something with that Chakram as well. And the final egg, it's the piece of the puzzle that was missing this entire time. Complexity forced to retreat themselves away. Swindles, Chessie and Limp on the sidelines. Was trying to wait for the reinitiation, and there we go. Blink Crush, reincarnation though from Yoku gonna pop right here, right now, and Complexity still in danger of dropping
Got his
even
blade
further.
mail.
But Yoku, the blade mail is up again. Limp, swipe down, 1, 2, 3, not gonna finish him off, he's another stun, but he's gonna get crushed up in the final line. There we go, Complexity, they turn it around.
Oh,
well enough.
another
No fear,
blink.
no fear. Chessie, he can't slow him down. Swindles, how long do we have? 5, 6 seconds until the Blink Crush. That impetus though, Z-Freak says not today.
Man, Swindles has been so on top of those rolls every time, showing that he can blink in front and stop that slow. Or rather, I suppose, give himself the slow to make can't just wiggle out of these fights. Big turnaround here for Complexity. Things are starting to get really scary. Like, yeah, your Alchemist was, of course, doing fairly well and well on his trajectory to in your Manta, but it's the supporting cast that's still getting things done. Echo Saber, Armlet, that's not going to be enough for the entire game. Swindles too, heading into that Midas. Get up into that plate buy this item on your Nyx Assassins, and as well as your slider, those bigger tier items. You're going to accept Nyxes or something, but it's mostly that BKB, and then hopefully even a Force Staff for Swindles, right? Maximum control.
Roshan is up now. If you want to control around the pit, these are the items you need.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Desolate's on the lifestealer. Gonna jump back into Swindles again. They have been close to inseparable this game. They do want to try and capitalize on his opening with Roshan
Such
alive.
a scary fight though, with Kezer still here. They could even do a swoop scout. Rune. Thing comes out. So no fear, just they're in there.
Was that from the Earth Spirit or the Alchemist?
I thought it was the Earth Spirit. It's
I don't know if it's
very yellow.
I don't know if it's a glare on my screen, but I thought, oh, that. It's difficult to say. That one's from that one's from the other. I think it was the Alchemist pinging in the Roshan pit. Either way, VP do not contest. I'm not sure if I'm blind or just dumb, but Roshan does go the way of complexity. Aegis on your lifestealer with that Deso picked up. His DPS increased massively now and buying even more time for Alchemist, like you said, to get into that Manta style, into the Octarine core.
I mean, you start to look like game plan from complexity, pretty clear. Have an unkillable alchemist who pushes all the waves and then take your timing as to when you want to go, but outside of VP, can they choose the big fights? Question, like, how can they force complexity into some place where you're going to get a 2-man call, a 3-man call? It has to be some smoke plays, but how grouped up our complexity could be. Generally, when you're like this, that's not where you find these big calls, right? It's ours is a big, and maybe that'll happen, but it seems like split push might be more so the name of the game, and that makes it a little bit harder for this Timbersaw to actually capitalize on, you know, a little bit of D push. It's harder to get these eggs coming in F and G. And scrappy fights are not going to be favoring the different things that you have, whether it be egg. I feel like the axe, honestly. I feel like that big call is his real job this game.
Oh, Yoku. The reincarnation is going to be popped here and forced out of him. Can they kill him a second time? It looks like Complexity plan to. The blink call there onto Chessie and Limp with the supernova on top. The Keizu Blade Mail is burning back onto them, and Chessie's dropping low. The Aegis is plopped out. The Swindles crushed down, but still the FMG supernova lands with the Fire Spirits and some flame coming out again from the Sun Ray. Huntston's Deathward is going to kill off Yoku a second time. They've done it. Killed off 3 now as VP are on the run. Swindle's going to miss out on the crush, but he still gets down damage back on the G. There's no chasing him though. The Timber Chain's over to the dive.
Oh, the Hurricane Pike!
Except Hurricane Pike, hello! You've got vision because of the freaking amplified damage. Perfect play from Complexity and a double kill for Z-Freak. Oh, it's been a while since Hurricane Pike has been used, especially that well.
Well, I mean, the 100 attack speed, we haven't even seen this really come out since that buff. Not been a very popular item since being introduced. And adding that on top of the amplified damage, absolutely gorgeous combo.
Tier 2 time for Complexity, of course. They do have some pretty heavy hitters when it comes to buildings now. With Chessie ripping apart that one. Again, this is continual efficiency, farming every camp they can on their way towards top lane. And killing off the big black dragon with his infest, so there is no initiation tool here for the lifestealer to get inside of Swindles. Might be the jump regardless. Yoku wastes the stun on an illusion. Complexity though, do retreat. And don't commit in for the tier 2, but it's down to Kezu now looking at the blink call, but he's not going to land at Swindles. Just about gets himself away, and with that new BKB up, used it in the last fight down to 9 seconds, he's probably sitting pretty as well. Not going to get caught out too easily.
Yeah, I definitely still feel that the net worth is a little misleading. Like, I know it's up to almost that 20k mark. At Alchemist, you know, you gotta take a little leniency with that, especially when you've gone this build, like how much he contributes to the fights. Because if they didn't have Aegis, I don't think you win that last fight if you're Complexity, right? Like, check gone, and then the overall damage output. VP, if they can string together these combos like they have been with no Aegis in the way, I'm so fearful for. Certainly would rather be in their position.
I just want to see that Hurricane Pike amplified damage impetus shot again.
Yeah, that was pretty damn like that.
It's just looping in my head now. That's all I can think about. I'm going to be dreaming of it tonight. Don't worry. And Z-Freak can still go back into the Aghanim Scepter now. He's got the majority of it, or half of it, while Limp has a Mystic Staff for his Octarine core. All done and dusted now. Finished up at 30 minutes. And VP, they seem to be dragging their heels a little bit, not quite sure what to do with themselves. They've got initiation tools, they've got damage. It's just they can't necessarily just wander into Complexity because they don't know where they are. They're trying the scan now. It's a dire scan, never mind. It's Complexity who are scouting out for VP. It just feels like the next 30 seconds there's going to be this big, head-on-head clash, and we're going to maybe even see the winner come out of that fight.
Well, they do pop their scan now from both teams. If they want to go for a smoke, now would be the time. Organizing some inventories here, so their Complexity will go. That's quite the line. Thinking that's back to defend. Yeah, it is. prime opportunity underneath an observer, so they're feeling safe from the side of VP.
Where
Spooky
are they
stuff.
going? The VP, I thought they might commit to the tier 2 bottom.
They saw Manta.
Oh. Oh dear. That's very silly, Limp. I mean, he's going to push out these lanes, but he's given away the smoke. His team have worked so hard to try and bring themselves into this tier 2 tower and maybe kill someone off.
I suppose it's almost out anyway. And this way they're pressuring mid
Tier
too.
2 will drop though, as Chessie pops his head out. The disgusting womb explodes and the baby lifestealer erupts. But as Pro
Oh, the
are
counter
looking for
smoke.
this initiation though. Trouble is this Alchemist illusion cancels out their blinks. Can't get into this fight easily, and
Middle tower is under attack.
coL, they have retreated themselves to a safe distance. Chessie
Call one.
still jumps on here, can't get the rage off. The Supernova's good. Chessie, he is taken over the game by the Timber Saw, and now Swindle's battling up against an Earth Spirit, but that Supernova goes straight through his BKB with G on the back end. Looking for the support to cleave through them with that Chakram, and Swindle, the Sunray! Look at the damage coming through from the Magnetoid as well. The Death Blow is dropped down onto G. The damage output doesn't look that great with all the reactive armor up onto him, but there we go. Hurricane Pike kills him off from like 3,000 range away. Oh man, Yoku blinks out on the cast. Hanskin, he's got it. He's got it. He's got it. Nailed it down as well. And here comes the damage from Z-Freak. Yoku tries to stand his ground with a blade mail, but that's gonna be 4 dead. Complexity, they've taken this team fight. They lose their 2 big cores, but the Alchemist stays alive, and Z-Freak keeps on scaling.
That is a lot of damage. Talk about the Ursa and the nerf post. Oh, there we go.
Oh. Do these casters realize that Ench ult is pure and therefore Amp doesn't even help combo? Really? Lol. Lol.
What? What? The vision. Oh,
No,
whatever.
dude, no, dude,
Chat.
it's the damage. Shut up. You're dumb. Don't even talk to me, Mopax, right now. Hanskin, yeah. Sunray, that's a spell. Kezu, though, he's getting burnt down by the infant shot. Not going to get finished off up into the high ground. As Z-Freak will heal up his buddy. G. He's not going to get in there in time. The Chakra won't land, and he's going to retreat himself out as well. Doesn't get the kill. Witch Doctor. Hanskin somehow still alive.
Alright. Here. Either way. Oh, good. Another medallion to help with that Enchantress impetus. Good. Excellent. More minus armor, right? So,
Kappa.
all stuff there. More stuff to help them get through with this lifesteal. It's Alchemist. But I don't know, like, where do you go from here? You didn't quite find that fight you wanted from VP. Things not looking hot for you. You on Kezu into his staff and everything, so he got like all he needs for these perfect calls and get one after another, but it's that one big one that they really want. Like, sometime don't have this damn Aegis. Things so difficult. Finally find that one good fight. I think VP hit it with that Timber Saw. Relatively scary if it weren't for those Bloodstone charges.
Where is Timber going? Apparently clearing out waves and hiding himself in the trees. Axe. Kezu. Feels like VP need to regroup. I mean, how many smokes do VP have back in their stash? None. Restocked in 7 minutes. Complexity could just push into this. Oh, they do have a smoke. Yeah, they had one. Had a smoke on someone. This is what I was looking for. Just try and catch someone off guard. Get in behind the ranks of Complexity because this Radiant's holding Alchemist. He is an absolute monster. If you can find
But look where Swindles is.
catching out onto them, but the 2-man crush comes through. The Supernova is good, well placed, but you've got 3 heroes wheeling into it, taken out immediately. Kezu's gone as well. Hanskin, he's just on the sideline, tanking up a ton of damage. He doesn't give a damn. Great King jumps himself away with the Chakram slowing him down as well, but Hanskin's got his number, slowing him. Well, he's damaging him. Now looking for the cast to slow him, and there we go. Forced up to the high ground. The Death Ward drop. Virtus Pro again, almost get wiped. 4 heroes down in Complexity. They keep winning these team fights, keep getting themselves objectives and Roshan, but it's still a case of breaking high ground.
That was just solid as if fully reading exactly what was happening, knowing like VP have to be back in this game and just Swindles as well as Jesse down the low ground. There's no way VP win that fight if they're not caught in the initial. Like if they don't call up Chessie or Swindles, doesn't even matter. I think that they could like fully kill Limp at this point. They could still take this fight 4v5. Like they are that far ahead.
I mean, Limp, not a care in the world, hooks up on high ground, whacked into tier 3, and the Sunray, a little bit spooky. Still able to get himself back up there. And what is the answer from this? Well, no fear, cannot answer and cannot buy back. Earth Spirit's gone for 40 seconds and a full lane of Rack's going to get taken out. There's Glyph available for Virtus Pro to try and save their mid if the transition is available for Complexity just to sideswipe over. An AC done on your life killer as well. That's some big beefy hits coming out onto these buildings.
And once again, Hops inside Swindles, Rainy side Vision, they know where they are. Thinking about going in, they're gonna find Yoku.
Oh, I mean, Limp is still hitting Rack's mid and Yoku's trying to deal with Creep Wave bot. A jump attempted, but this Wild Wing Ripper, this tornado is so perfect, cancelling the Blink Dagger as well as now the Radiance from Alchemist. Stopping any forms of initiation, but it's the initiation from Complexity you've got to worry about with a blink in first. Kizu somehow survives. Jesse doesn't get the final hits in there while Limp self-stunning himself. Now stunned up by Yoku with his ultimate off cooldown in 1 second time. Limp might have get himself away from this one actually, pops the ultimate out, and now he's healing up through the Magnetite with a turnaround coming out. Virtus Pro, Kizu trying to battle through, he's got a dunk, but he's going to miss it. D-Freak Jesus through it all, and Virtus Pro might just tap out here. That was so close to being gorgeous from Virtus Pro, but in the end, Complexity just minor outplays, minor misplays from VP. Mean his Alchemist, Lifestealer still up on the front lines and fighting through everyone.
Yeah, and we saw last game just Kezu going relatively I think in a lot of those initiations where he could just kind of pick and choose what he wanted to do. Time Complexity, not giving him the chance for it, just always being on top of that axe, jumping into the back lines and hop on him before he can actually initiate onto them.
Oh man, the stun dodge from the rage as well. Yoku's gone for 80 seconds. Reincarnation was 10 seconds off cooldown. Now it's down to G, Kezu and No Fear to defend their base. Can they do it? Can they do it with the chakra? They throw it out, the coL is down, Swindle, he tried to blink crush, he's gonna actually get taken apart here, but the damage goes back in through from Chessie and Lemper, they clear up the rest of VP. Full lane of Rack's gone, Mega Creeps are gone, VP is gone, and Complexity, they're gone to the upper bracket as well. A nice 2-1 win there for coL over Virtus Pro, ends up this series. Ends up our cast and our stream here today. Quickly, mod packs, shout outs.
Oh, no, thanks for having me. Solid play there by Complexity. I think Z-Freak just picks Oracle and Enchantress to steal all the kills. He had a hell of a day today. And props to Kezu for standing in and really well in all 3 games, honestly. That Faceless War game. That is something to, like, honestly be remembered right there.